She was glued to Clark. No space, no breathing room. That kind of physical defense usually gets praise. But what came next shocked everyone. Caitlin cut through the lane expecting a screen. Instead, she got leveled. The replay spread like wildfire.
This could have started a brawl. If this happened in men's basketball, like, that is not too much work, too dissimilar to, again, sorry, the Kennedy Carter thing was literally the Jokic on Marcus Morris situation.
And just when it seemed like the rivalry had reached its peak, something else happened. With the final buzzer echoing through the arena, the scoreboard told one story. Indiana Fever, 93, Chicago Sky, 58. But the real story? That was playing out off the court. Because while Caitlin Clark walked off the floor with a triple-double and the spotlight firmly on her, Angel Reese was left staring into space, frustrated, furious, and maybe, just maybe, outmatched. Because here's the twist. Diamond DeShields might be the villain today, but some believe she's actually the victim of the league's obsession with Clark. Overshadowed, outshined, forgotten. Therefore, this moment isn't just about one play or one player. It's about the divide growing inside the WNBA. Veterans versus rookies, old guard versus new face, survivors versus superstars. And unless something changes fast, this drama won't be the last. The WNBA has made its decision. The league suspended DeShields, but it also protected Caitlin. And while some argue that's what superstars deserve, others say it confirms their worst fear, that this league is no longer a level playing field, that media hype now matters more than legacy, that the WNBA has picked its side. But what if that's exactly what the league wants? A new era, a new villain, a new heroine. Conflict sells, drama gets clicks, and the battle between the old and the new is the storyline that won't die.
She is no longer in the league because she not only got let go by the Chicago Sky, she has been let go by the New York Liberty, and she's crying online about it.
Getting waived is crazy because, like, what do you do after you get waived?
Caitlin Clark just got the biggest shock of her rookie season. Diamond DeShields has been suspended after what many are calling a vicious, unnecessary attack. But this isn't just about one foul. This might be the moment that defines the WNBA's future. That shot didn't just tie the game, it flipped the momentum and it set a tone. Therefore, this battle became less about team strategies and more about who could outshine the other. Kelsey Mitchell joined the firefight, scoring on tough jumpers.
Here's Mitchell, will fire, and hit from three.
But everything and everyone seemed to orbit around Clark and Reese. Every time Clark hit a jumper, Reese muscled her way to the rim. Every time Reese scored in the paint, Clark pulled up from the perimeter and drilled another dagger. So what really happened during that play? What led to the suspension? And what does this mean for the future of Clark and DeShields?
She assaulted Caitlin Clark on the court right before Caitlin Clark came off the court with 3:52 left.
Let's go back to the moment everything changed. It was late in the second quarter. Indiana was down by 6. Caitlin Clark had just nailed a deep three. The crowd erupted. Momentum was shifting. That's when Diamond DeShields checked in. From the jump, her body language said it all. Aggressive, locked in. Some say angry.
Caitlin Clark points out the no call, then she applies a hard foul on Reese. Reese gets up right away to get in the face of Clark.
This wasn't some overreaction. It was retaliation. Clark stood up for her teammate the only way she knows how, with grit, fire, and zero hesitation. Therefore, the refs hit Reese with a flagrant one. The internet divided. Some said Clark flopped. Others praised her intensity, but no one could deny the electricity that moment brought. And through all of this chaos, Clark kept playing her game. She hit another deep three. Remember, DeShields was once a top 3 draft pick. She had hype. She had the spotlight. But injuries and inconsistency dimmed her star. This year, she's trying to make a comeback.
Diamond DeShields actually getting waived from the Connecticut Sun just one day prior to tomorrow's May 16th WNBA's 2025 season tip-off. She looked heartbroken and in pain, with the news of her being waived from the Connecticut Sun.
Proof she still belongs. But when the league starts revolving around a rookie, when your minutes shrink and the cameras move to someone else, that kind of spotlight shift creates resentment.
Now, I'm going to talk a little more about that in another video.
But no one expected it to go this far. No one thought it would end with a suspension that's shaking the league.
This is what happened in one of the possessions. This is like, again, a nothing call, really. So if you're watching what happened here, Diamond DeShields, Caitlin Clark is trying to cut in this position right here. And Diamond DeShields just body checks her. Like, it's a foul. Nothing more, nothing less. It is an off-the-ball foul. She just body checked Caitlin Clark as she's trying to move. It's nothing. It's basketball. It's basketball.
But that raises even more questions. If Caitlin is being protected by the league, does that confirm what some vets have been whispering all along? That the rules are different for her, that she's being shielded while others are left to fight for relevance? Or is this simply what happens when a superstar is born?
When's the last time you didn't see Caitlin Clark talking about a teammate? When's the last time you saw Caitlin Clark talking about herself or any of the accomplishments that she has had? Let me give you the answer to that. Never! That's why their team has gotten good. She could have been an egomaniac. Everybody in the league knows that she is the league right now. Are you kidding me?
But that was only the beginning. Moments later, Angel Reese came crashing through the lane. Elbows out, shoulders lowered. She bullied her way to the rim and sent a message with a tough layup in traffic.
Clark excelled a season ago.
Angel Reese dives in and finishes through the contact.
The arena shifted. You could feel it. This was more than a game. This was personal. But Clark responded like she always does, with a three from way beyond the arc. Splash. Net didn't even move, and the stare she gave after? Ruthless. A hesitation dribble. Step back three.
4 seconds left. Clark fires. You bet!
Splash. Crowd goes wild, and with just over a minute to play, Clark launched another bomb from deep.
Here's Clark firing. Hey!
Back-to-back threes that silenced the haters and sealed the win. Therefore, this wasn't just a win, it was a statement. Caitlin Clark didn't just beat Angel Reese, she exposed her. The difference in composure, skill, and leadership was undeniable.
So many different places on the floor. Clark, little mid-range, is good.
But something snapped in the second half. A rebound bounced high off the rim. Both Clark and Reese went for it. Arms tangled, hands fought. And then, it happened. Clark ripped at the ball with pure aggression. Reese held tight. The two locked eyes. Neither backed down. And the arena exploded. Replay showed it clearly. Reese shoved Clark's teammate before the scrum, and Clark saw it. That's what lit the fire.
That Angel took exception to. So initially, Angel pushes Natasha Howard.
While Reese jawed and flexed, Clark passed, scored, and led her team to an overwhelming 35-point blowout win. So now, the media is split. Some say Reese got exposed. Others say the foul was a message, a sign that Clark won't be allowed to run this league unchecked. But everyone agrees on one thing. This rivalry is far from over. Therefore, if you think this was just another regular season matchup, think again. What happened between Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese might change the WNBA forever. Not just because of the final score, but because of what it revealed about two of the league's biggest stars. Now here's where the story explodes, because behind closed doors, league sources say this wasn't just about the foul. This was months in the making. Think about it. Caitlin Clark has drawn record crowds. She's driven up ticket sales. She's the face of the league before even playing 10 games. And that's created tension with veterans who've spent years being overlooked. Therefore, every hard foul, every shove, every sneaky elbow wasn't just about defense. It was personal. Clark represented change, fame, and attention some vets never got. And that includes Diamond DeShields. And by the end of this story, you'll understand exactly why this feud is about more than basketball. It's about legacy, power, and who gets to own the spotlight in the new era of the WNBA. From the very first possession, this wasn't basketball. This was war. And the first shot fired, it came from Caitlin Clark. With the sky up early, Clark was fouled on a hard drive to the rim.
Here's Clark working through some contact. Clark diving in, gets the whistle.
She didn't flinch, just stepped to the line, nailed both free throws, and stared down the Chicago bench. No celebration, just cold confidence. Some called Clark soft, others said Reese was reckless. And then came the hot takes. Former players, analysts, even celebrities jumping into the debate. Everyone had an opinion, but no one had the full story, because here's what most people missed. When the two tangled for that rebound, the replay revealed something subtle but game-changing. Angel Reese shoved Nyssa Howard before Clark ever jumped in. That moment wasn't about ego or attitude, it was about loyalty. Clark saw her teammate get hit, she saw no whistle, and she acted. Therefore, what looked like a petty fight was actually something much deeper.
We watch a lot of basketball. It's a take foul to put them at the free throw line, and rather give up 2 points. I watched a lot of basketball in my life. That's exactly what it was. I wasn't trying to do anything malicious. That's not the type of player I am. So, this wasn't anything like that. And I went for the ball, and that's clear as day in the replay. You watch it. It shouldn't have been upgraded, but again, that's up to the ref's discretion. But I appreciate AB having my back. I guess I don't even know what she did. I didn't see that. Well, girl, have fun paying that fine. Can I get half? I got it. No worries.
But fans did. Social media exploded. Yarshar Clark vs. Reese was trending in minutes, and while Caitlin Clark hasn't spoken publicly yet, her body language told the world everything it needed to know. She was stunned, shaken, and maybe, just maybe, ready to fight back.
And then, people are lip reading right here. People are lip reading. And this is what we can see in the lip read from Caitlin Clark. And I want to effing punch her effing face.
Commentators aren't talking about her comeback anymore. They're talking about whether she lost control, whether she let jealousy or frustration take over, whether this single play has rewritten her story. But Caitlin Clark, she's moving forward. In the very next game, Clark dropped 26 points, dished out 9 assists, and reminded everyone exactly why she's the most watched player in women's basketball. She didn't flinch. She didn't retaliate. She responded the only way she knows how, by dominating. Therefore, fans are now asking a different question. If Caitlin can take this much punishment and still deliver night after night, who's really being exposed here?
The league is getting rid of the Caitlin Clark haters. DJ Currency better move on eggshells, bro. She's the only one left. She is no longer in the league, crying online about it.
But that's not the only story. Some say this was personal, that DeShields wasn't just trying to stop Clark, she was trying to send a message. Others believe it was a breakdown in discipline, that the pressure of guarding the most hyped rookie in league history finally broke her.
Here's Clark, gets down by DeShields, and Clark's going to shoot too.
Trying to slow her down, picking her up at midcourt, trying to get the offensive foul call, but didn't give her the time and space.
This was a shot fired at the league's new direction. And the fallout, that's only just begun.
I'm not sure what the refs saw to upgrade it, and that's up to their discretion after watching the initial whatever happened.
This wasn't just a game. This was a statement, a battle, a brawl in sneakers. Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese. The moment the entire WNBA had circled in red. And what happened next will shock you. Because Caitlin Clark didn't just win. She dominated. She humiliated. And just when the dust seemed to settle, a flagrant foul, a heated standoff, and a stare down at half court sent the entire league into chaos.
I think every single, lip reading is one thing. Every single person knew what this lip read was. I want to effing punch her effing face. She's not happy.
This is the boiling point that the WNBA has been racing toward all season. It started with hard fouls. It turned into trash talk. Now it's become suspensions. And here's where it gets even crazier.
Caitlin Clark is not happy at all with this. And the funniest part is again, I don't know what's going on with this guy. I just don't know what's going on.
But let's rewind. This was supposed to be a celebration of women's basketball, a marquee matchup between the league's two most polarizing rookies. One is the golden girl of the WNBA, the face of the Fever, the player ESPN cannot stop talking about. The other, a self-proclaimed queen of the paint, ready to shut Clark down by any means necessary. Yet what we got was something far more intense than anyone expected. From the opening tip, the tension was obvious. The crowd knew it. The broadcasters felt it. Every possession had a little extra push, a little extra shove. Caitlin Clark buried a 3 from the logo just minutes into the first quarter, and you could almost feel the fuse light. It was Clark doing what leaders do, protecting her team and sending a message. We're not backing down. And this is where the narrative shifts. For months, critics have questioned whether Caitlin Clark could survive in the WNBA. Too flashy, too soft, too hyped. But this game, this blowout, flipped all of that on its head. Not only did Clark dominate statistically, she showed toughness, leadership, and fire. Meanwhile, Angel Reese, for all her talk and swagger, couldn't match Clark's poise, couldn't control the game, couldn't stop the bleeding. But don't get it twisted. This story isn't over, not even close. Because the next time these two meet, the pressure will be even higher, the spotlight even brighter, and the stakes. It happened fast, almost too fast to believe. 1 second, Caitlin was doing what she always does, running the floor, pushing the tempo, putting on a show. The next, she was hit hard. Not a simple foul, not a basketball play. A hit that left fans in shock and social media on fire.
Is what happens the next possession. And we've all seen it. We've all seen what happened the next possession. Caitlin Clark gets hit from behind. It looks so much worse at other angles. That angle cuts off just how bad, egregious it was from Diamond DeShields. And Caitlin Clark jumps up.
The cameras caught it. The fans saw it. And now the WNBA has responded. Diamond DeShields is out, suspended. Her return date, unknown.